Oh, battery's low. It's probably gonna die on us. Hey, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys may or may not know, because I mentioned it in my very first video, which is not that great, but my favorite movie genre is horror or thriller. And so today I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite horror movies on Netflix. Number 10 on my list is called Sick Souls, and it is about this doctor who treats, like, she's kind of a psychiatrist, and she has apparently seen every single case out there, but there's this patient that her dad is seeing who no one has any idea what to diagnose him with because it's just so sporadic and so weird, and so it doesn't seem very scary at the start, but then it gets deep and intense and has a very sad ending. It's sad, so, but still very scary. Number 9 on the list is called Hush, and it is about this deaf woman who is living alone. This guy breaks into her house, and at first it's really scary because we as the audience see this man walking around her house behind her, but she has no idea because she's deaf, and so it's really scary because she has to fight this guy not being able to hear him, and so she has to rely on a lot of different senses. Number 8 on my list is called Veronica. Now, this one is entirely in Spanish because it takes place in Spain, and it's about this girl named Veronica who is kind of like the mother figure in her family because there's no father. Her mom works all the time, and she has 3 other siblings, so she has a big responsibility with that. And one day at school, her and her friends play with a Ouija board, and of course, you know, she gets cursed, and it's intense. And there's English subtitles, so it might be a little annoying for people that don't want to read the whole time, but I think it's worth it. Number 7 on my list is called Clinical, and it is about a therapist who gets attacked by her patient that was trying to kill herself. She still continues to be a therapist while she's in therapy recovering from this traumatic event, and then she's still dealing with flashbacks to that event, and she also has to deal with a stalker patient that keeps breaking into her house, and it's just very bloody, very scary, and Number 6 on my list is called The Boy, and this one is about this couple who has asked, they are looking for a nanny to take care of their son while they go away on vacation, and so this girl is like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, and when she's getting the tour, she finds out that this couple's child is a doll. And so there's a very specific set of instructions that she has to follow, and so she does it for the most part, but then she eventually finds that nothing, what's the point, it's a doll, but then she starts hearing voices and the doll's moving around on its own, and so it just, Number 5 on my list is called Silence of the Lambs, and it is a psychological thriller. So Silence of the Lambs has this FBI detective in training trying to solve this murder case, this guy that just keeps going on and abducting women. And she is working with a psychopath who was known to do crazy crimes, and so she is using his knowledge and to put together to like, oh, how is this guy thinking? How am I gonna catch him? And it's a psychological thriller. It gets to you. Number 4 on my list is called Before I Wake. This couple had a boy and he died, and so they are kind of trying to move on from that, but yeah, it's difficult, and so like they're both kind of struggling with this idea of fostering another little boy. And this boy comes from just every single foster family he's been with, they've either disappeared or just sent him right back to the orphanage because he's hard to deal with, apparently. And so this guy, this woman doesn't want to give up on him, and they start seeing that like whatever he dreams comes to life. So she starts to manipulate him to make him dream about their son so that she can see her son again and just like hug him and just be with him. But I mean, nothing good can last, so that turns bad very fast. Number 3 is another classic. It's called Poltergeist. Poltergeist is about this family that it just seems like a normal family, and then one night the littlest kid gets sucked into the closet and taken to kind of like another dimension, like the ghost world, and she can communicate with the family through the TV, and it's like the house gets haunted and they have to get like an expert to come and deal with the ghosts and all that, and so it's really scary. Number 2 on my list is called The Conjuring, and it is about this family moves into a haunted house, and it's kind of like a normal family. They have a mom and dad and then 5 or 6 daughters, and one of the daughters starts to notice creepy things at night and like, isn't okay sleeping by herself, and the mom starts getting really, really sick for no reason whatsoever, and then she starts getting these urges to hurt her kids, and it gets to the point where like she has no control over her body. There was like a witch that was hung in the back of in their backyard, and so she haunts the house and just like hates children. The number 1 scariest movie on Netflix, in my opinion, is called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. This movie is about 2 coroners who are father and son, and they have like this business has been in their family for years. They have like, you know, like the pictures of like each generation, and they have an expansion every time. Sheriff brought in this body who they named her Jane Doe because she was completely naked. She had no identification, no connection to the house that she was found in. She also had no markings on her, no signs of trauma, no nothing. So she had no pulse, but it also was like, okay, well, how did she die? Because it was also a middle-aged woman, so like, it's not old age or anything. So the coroners are doing like a bunch of experiments and stuff. As they're doing all this, creepy stuff starts happening in their home, in their office, and like they have some dead bodies that they are in the middle of working on stored away in like the freezer area. I think that's what it would be. They have bells tied to their feet because it was an old thing for coroners to do that, to make sure like, oh, that like if it was actually dead they wouldn't get up and move. But at one point when they were in their office, you can hear the bell of someone walking down the hall, and then like they keep seeing stuff and like trying to attack things that aren't really there. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye!